Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw. This time it is going to be on Bone Lake. This is a new horror film that involves a couple who are staying over at a house by the lake, only it turns out that they're actually sharing this house with another couple. And from there, the couple have to share the house. Things start going off pretty well, but then they start manipulating each other, and from there, things get much more wild and much more intense. And throughout the film, there is a lot of tension building and a lot of slow movement that will pretty much end up, well, I mean, with a movie like this, you kind of would figure how it would conclude. But yeah, I didn't know a whole lot going into this movie. I did see the trailer, but I didn't really see a whole lot of people talking about the film other than Chris Stuckman. But I went into this movie knowing like hardly a thing. I just knew that, involved, a house and a couple and the fact that it was in the slasher genre. Yeah, but this isn't something on the same lines as something like Friday the 13th or X, the 2022 horror film X. Yeah, it's not on the same lines as that. It's more of a psychological film as well as a bit of a character study in terms of, this couple interacting with the other couple, and there are times where things get quite uncomfortable in a way that, yeah, it would definitely be how it seems when it comes to the character interactions. But I won't lie, as I was watching this movie, I really liked the premise as things got a lot more interesting later on. I mean, it started off interesting as soon as it started up till it started watering down to this couple and meeting up with this other couple. I didn't know entirely what to expect, but it really started growing on me because the first act was definitely on the slower side. I mean, hey, I didn't expect anything major until much later on. But for people out there who expect more of a bloody, brutal slasher, I hate to tell you this, but that's not going to happen until towards the last act, which is kind of a spoiler, but I'm not going to spoil what the premise of this movie is going for in terms of the manipulations that go on throughout the film. You're just going to have to watch it for yourself. But it's not going to please everybody, especially with the fact that it talks about some really weird things that will probably have people going, come on, like I didn't come here for people to talk about this. I came here because with a title like Bone Lake and from the poster alone, you expect something a lot more. But I appreciate the fact that it's doing things in a way that's a lot more different than how it would seem when it comes to its premise. Because again, it's not like a brutal slasher film. Now, don't get me wrong. It is violent. But they save a lot of the violence, mainly because throughout the film, there's only 4 people. There's only 4 main people. You see them throughout the entire film. You don't see anyone else. And hopefully one of them would make it out alive. But hey, I really appreciate the direction it was going. And it's a very well-made film, too. Not going on a very huge budget. It's a very basic film, but also takes things in a much more different direction as the film progresses. And I feel like when it comes to couples, there are some elements in here that some people could probably relate to if you are in a relationship. As for someone who's never been in one, I definitely appreciate where the concept behind the entire film was going. Because there are a lot of sexual moments throughout the film, not just in terms of, physical sexual acts, but I mean talks about, I shouldn't really say, but it's quite weird. And some people don't like to see that in horror films, but hey, I get the premise of the film and I respect it for it. And hey, I respected it more as I thought about it on the walk home. Yes, I still don't have a card yet, but I will soon, don't worry. As the movie started up from being alright, but it definitely started building up a lot more, and by the end of the film, especially towards, before the film closes, I was really happy with the way that the movie ended, too. It ended in a way that I wasn't expecting. There are moments of unpredictability here and there, and I was all around really, really happy with the fact that it goes to a different direction where I thought it was going, but then it just changes up. So yeah, there are definitely some things in the film that I wasn't entirely expecting. And because I didn't know a lot going into the trailer may make it seem like it's going to be like a brutal slasher, but at the same time, for someone who, went in with low expectations, I appreciate it for its psychological nature. And hey, by the end of the film, it gave me what I was expecting when it came to its mayhem. So yeah, while it's not particularly on the scary route, it's definitely more on the psychological route, and that's something that I respected the most. It's not just some generic throwaway slasher film that you would find at a video store, but it's actually taking things in a much more different approach. There's a lot of character interactions, and some people might find that boring, and it's respectable because, it's not going to be for everyone. But, I expected this film to be, a fun little time. Though it's definitely more slow than most slasher films. Hell, I wouldn't even really call it much of a slasher film. It's far more of, well, I keep repeating myself. It's more psychological than slasher. If that's not really your cup of tea, you're probably not going to be a fan of this film. As for me, I was really surprised by the end. So far, it's been a really solid year for horror in terms of new horror movies coming out. Hopefully, Black Phone 2 will do the same. I'm a little nervous about that one, but I've heard early buzz that it's supposed to be pretty decent. I'm also really looking forward to Shelby Oaks. Speaking of Chris Stuckman, I cannot wait for that film. I really hope it managed to pay off. But yeah, there's a lot of good horror this October that is definitely worth seeing. I know this movie didn't make a huge amount of money. I mean, Good Boy definitely made a little bit more. It's not really seeing a whole lot, but I definitely recommend giving this a watch if you can, or if not, you can watch it on streaming. But hey, I enjoy seeing films like this on the big screen, and I'm glad I got to see it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.